At it again, and man, is it good to watch the leftists absolutely lose their minds over Trump continuing to take W's. Even amongst all of the L's that they try to throw at him, he comes out with straight W's, straight wins, okay? You know, watching them lose their minds because they thought they had them and then they didn't. Man, it is glorious to watch. And today we're going to be checking out a clip from Jon Stewart. Like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you are new. And let's dive in.
And the Attorney General of New York knew that Trump's property values were inflated because when it came time to pay taxes, Trump undervalued the very same properties. It was all part of a very sophisticated real estate practice known as lying. So the judge calculated that the value that he gained from the lying with interest was around $454 million. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, that sounds pretty straightforward. Whatever gains you got from lying, you have to pay back. Well, that's because you're a f***ing idiot. If you knew anything about business, if you had an MBA, you'd know you're a f***ing idiot.
We're talking about a victimless crime. They find an ordinance or a law that has never been used ever before in anyone else.
He's committed bank fraud where there's no victim. It makes no sense.
No victims. There was no victim. The ruling is blatantly unfair.
That didn't go over very well with the investment community because we're all asking each other, who's next?
Who's next? The persecuted minority of the investment community. First they came for the arbitrageurs, and I said nothing. For I was not an arbitrager. And then they came for the quants, which I could be. I don't know what a quant is. But I am surprised to hear this from Kevin O'Leary, a guy who's such an asshole. Wait. That even the other people on Shark Tank thinks he's an asshole. Now, he's very chill. I'm surprised to hear that he's so chill about overvaluing something that he thinks is victimless, because when someone tries to do that to him...
Which one of you do I absolutely tear to pieces now on a $28 million valuation?
You think this is worth $10 million?
Absolutely.
Okay, now I'm going to rip your pieces. Are you out of your mind?
Your valuation's insane.
Your valuation's crazy. I think that's a crazy valuation.
I think your valuation is stinky poo-poo.
And that's exactly what they do with banks. And the bank has every right to say, hey, your evaluation is stinky poo-poo. But that's the way they do business. Like, that just makes logical sense. This stuff is just absolutely ridiculous, man. You know, watching them try to perform these mental gymnastics and laugh and key. Like, it's funny. It's funny now until all of these investors leave New York. And then what? Then it's no longer funny. Oh, then they're being hateful and they're discriminating, right? Then that's what they'll say. You know, oh, they're being hateful and discriminating. They're discriminating. I guarantee you that's the next line that they try to use. You know, this stuff is just funny, man. Watching them do, you know, try to perform this mental gymnastics is crazy.
Oh, no, you didn't. Canadians are so vulgar. How is he not this mad about overvaluations in the real world? Because they are not victimless crimes. First, the banks got paid back at lower interest rates, although, to be honest, who gives a shit? But second, money...
First off, the bank agreed to the set amount. You don't just walk into a bank and say, hey, these are my terms, you better accept them, and that's that. What I say is what goes. Like, that's just not the way, that's just not how things work. That's not how it works. Okay? Anybody that works in a bank knows that. You're not just about to walk into a bank and you tell a bank what to do. Right? You could try. Maybe they even agree to it. But at the end of the day, they have to agree to it. This isn't a stick up. You know what I'm saying? That's not what this is. Okay, you go to jail for that. Of course, I'm going to try to get as much as I can, right, from them. But once again, they have the right to negotiate, which is what they do. And the banks, as far as I remember, said that they would do more business with Trump. They want to continue to do business with Trump. So someone that was defrauded, that felt bad because they didn't get as much interest money, would they say that? No. They were paid in full and were happy with what they got paid. That should be the end of the story. But of course not. Of course not. Because a citizen and a bank have a transaction that a judge and an attorney general, crazy folks, don't agree with, it's all of a sudden a crime. So what's the point of going to a bank? We at this point, based off of what they're saying, we might as well go to Judge Engeron in order to get loans. We got to go to him and have the bank come into the court and have Judge Engeron tell us how much can we take from them. And then the bank says, how much can we give them? If that's the case, like it's just ridiculous that they could just, oh well, no, you defrauded them, even though they agreed to it, even though they like the terms, even though they said they want to do more business with you, you defrauded them. What? Make that make sense. Please try it. Good luck.
Isn't infinite. A loan that goes to the liar doesn't go to someone who's giving a more honest evaluation. So the system becomes incentivized for corruption. And this is part of a different Trump fraud case, but avoiding taxes hurts all of us. Donald Trump shenanigans cost the city of New York. And to be honest...
Oh, avoiding tax. So you mean like Hunter? And do you mean legal avoiding? Because, yeah, Trump does it. He admitted to it on stage because of your folks, Democrats like Hillary Clinton, who Trump called out on stage. I'm sure you guys remember that. Trump said, yeah, I do. I use the same legal tax loop. I use the same tax loopholes that her donors use. If you don't like it, then change the law. But I know she won't, because her donors, the people that pay big money to her campaigns, use those same tax loopholes. So I know she and the rest of her Democrats will never close those loopholes. So if you don't like the tax code, then tell Democrats to change it. Since you feel it's so unfair, and Democrats always want to scream, pay your fair share. That's another thing too. Pay your fair share, well then close the tax loopholes. I bet you won't. And we all know why. But we ain't gonna talk about that though. We're not allowed to talk about that. We're not allowed to talk about their big donors that use those same tax loopholes, right? We're not allowed to talk about that. But as soon as Trump does it, all of a sudden, it's like the worst sin ever known to man. Okay, the worst sin ever known to man. But these are your laws. These are you could change the law. You are in Congress. Oh. Forgot. So really, it's your fault since, if you want to claim that these people aren't paying their fair share, if that's the truth, then that's your fault, not theirs. Don't hate the player. Hate the game and the people that make the rules.
And let's be frank here. That is money that the city of New York could have used to build more Walgreens. Now,
more migrant camps.
Some blocks only have 2 of them. Leave it to Kevin O'Leary to be unaware enough to say the quiet part out loud.
I hear about the so-called victimless crimes, but the laws on the books, falsification of business records in second degree, issuing false financial statements, insurance fraud, conspiracy, and all these different aspects of it, those are actual crimes. I take it your point is that these should not have been prosecuted?
Everything you just listed off is done by every real estate developer everywhere on earth in every city. This has never, ever been prosecuted.
There is a theory in law that if enough people commit a crime, it automatically becomes legal. You're familiar with the purge, are you not?
And that is exactly, well, hold on, let me let him finish.
Entitled arrogance. I don't know if you know this, but most people just can't commit fraud and expect to face no repercussions, even if everyone's doing it. Try getting a car loan by saying you have 10 times as much money as you really do, or claim 20 dependents.
Well, they're going to verify that. They're not just going to give you the car loan. Duh. They're gonna ask for some verification. And when you don't have it, kick rocks. Kick rocks. You can't prove that you have what you say you have. Kick rocks. We're not giving you this loan. Loan denied. Denied. And this is the thing, Sir Jon Stewart. Kevin O'Leary said that everyone does it. And if he's correct, I'd have no issues if Letitia James and Judge Engeron then went around and charged every single developer with the same thing that they're charging Donald Trump with. But they're not. You haven't even heard them even mention it. Not a single Not a single peep. Not a single peep. Nothing. I'd have no issues. Charge Kevin O'Leary. Charge Grant Cardone. Charge everybody else that, has invested in New York and committed the same crimes. Charge everybody else then. Do it. I dare you. I dare you. That is the problem. It's called selective prosecution. I'm just saying.
When you have no children, or say you make slightly less money to qualify for food assistance, I will guarantee you there are not just financial consequences for those lies, but criminal ones. But don't tell that to the investment community, because in their minds, in pursuit of profit, there is no rule that cannot be bent. There is no principle that cannot be undercut, as long as you and your friends are making money. And the only immoral practice, hold on, I'm not done.
Once again, he'd have a great point if Letitia James and Judge Engeron went after everyone. But have you heard anything about them going after Kevin O'Leary? He just admitted that he does the exact same thing as Trump. Have you heard about any new investigations being opened against Kevin O'Leary? And we all know why. It ain't happening. Have you heard about any investigations of, against any other rich billionaire developers in New York? There should be a long list at this point. There should be a long list. If this isn't a witch hunt, if this isn't what we say it is, which we say it's a witch hunt, and the left claims that it's not. So if it's not, then why don't we have a laundry list of developers getting dragged into court right now? If the law is even, and if you're applying the law evenly, there should be a very long list of individuals, shouldn't there?
If I could raise my chair up, I would. Apparently, the only immoral practice in the capitalist system is to use that money for people who may need it.
Fraud, waste, and abuse, people never want to be honest about, but a lot of these parents will, they abuse the system. A lot of them are encouraged to abuse the system.
Where do you think the money that you get for food stamps and other things who do you think pays that money, your health care? You're taking their money and you just don't seem to care. The guy who walks out of the store with a bag of food, is he entitled to it? Because food is a necessity and he doesn't have enough of it?
You nutrition-needing motherfuckers. Bringing our system to its knees. Stealing is only justified when you already have too much. Ultimately, whether or not Trump is a victim of selective prosecution is going to be a...
There's a difference between that and what they're doing. Huge difference. Big difference. And if you can't see that, then you got some issues. That is laughable. That is seriously laughable. The fact that you tried to compare those two things, wow, that says a lot. That shows how desperate you really are, how much Trump derangement you actually have. That's what that says to me. That's what that says to me. I don't know about y'all, but that's what that says to me. That speaks of desperation. That speaks of Trump derangement. That's what that speaks to. You compared someone scamming the food stamps and that whole system, which, listen, I have seen some folks do some terrible things. It's absolutely trash. You compare that to Trump saying, no, I feel like this property is worth this much. Do you agree? And the bank saying, no, but we'll agree to this number. And Trump saying, okay, great. You compared those two things. Goodness gracious. Wow. Anyway, yeah, like I said, it's just interesting watching these folks try to perform these mental gymnastics. And, you know, even with a scripted show with, you know, writers and, you know, a production team and everything else, it just doesn't hit. It just don't hit. You know, like, could you imagine like a true, because some people may say, well, we do have Republican shows, a true Republican, you know, show that is backed by millions of dollars, has writers and everything, and is truly Republican. My goodness, that would be doom for the left. Absolute doom. That's why, hey, listen, if CNN is watching, you know, let your boy know. Hey, you know, I heard you about to fire a few people, heard you firing a few people, so, you know, I won't charge as much. My only requirement is that I get to do and say the exact same things I've always been saying. That's my only requirement. But if I could have a production team, man, boy, I tell you. Man, I tell you. And listen, I don't even have to have half the salary that they pay in the rest of these folks. Give me, I don't know. What I think they were paying one person like $20 million, another one 15. Give me two. Give me two and pay for my travel. I'll take that. All right. That's all I'm asking. Matter of fact, 1.5. I'll take 1.5. All right. You know, forget that. Give me one, pay for my travel, give me like some kind of bonuses or whatever, and we'll call it a day. You know, hey. But we'll have a true, you know, Republican show that speaks the truth on mainstream television. It's about darn time we get something like that to combat this craziness, man. It's getting out of control. But anyway, y'all let me know what you thought about this one in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.